What we've seen the last year and a half really exposes just how much we've missed it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really is amazing. 10 years ago when I started saying we have to look at the mountain of entertainment, academia, and media, because culture will be shaped by those forces, and then culture will eventually show up in elections. And so that's what we've got now. But what really, I think, for people of faith that are watching this, what really makes us sit back, it's a connection we can make that most conservative media analysts can't. And that is that Israel and the United States have a unique spiritual relationship. It was Israel began its Zionist meetings about forming a nation in the 1906, 1908 period of time when Azusa Street took place, which is our Pentecostal movement. 1947, 48, they become a nation, and we have our great revivals that happened in the United States. 1967, they regained control of Jerusalem at the inception of the great charismatic movement that happened in the West. And so here we are with Donald Trump coming along, which I coined the idea that he was a modern day Cyrus, and he recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of the nation. And you have to see that what the Palestinians want to do is they want to defy that. The global community would like to defy that. They would like to carve up Jerusalem so that it's the eastern portion is part of a Palestinian area, et cetera. And so a lot of what you're seeing here is the deception in the news media that would release lawlessness in the United States to steal righteous leadership from office. There is a similar chaos happening in Israel right now, and you're seeing deception in media catalyzing religious issues instead of race issues in order to divide the area and expand the power of lawlessness. But these two nations actually have very similar intertwined destinies and spiritual warfare.
Yeah, spiritual warfare, very well spoken. The Girl Who Believed in Miracles. Well, it looks great, Kevin. Where can people see this film?
It's on AMC theaters and other theaters that are affiliated with them across the country. I believe they're on 800 to 900 screens right now. So
there you go.
If they just go to thegirlwhobelievesinmiracles.com, they will find it right there.
There you go. There's the website right there on the screen. Take a picture of that. Go there. Find out The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. I want to say one thing. Before we get any further in the interview, I want you to understand that Lance Wallnau and I both do all of our own stunts right here on the program. We don't have stand-ins. But anyway, no, it's in light of that.
True.
It's true. I'm not one to brag, but there we are. The thing I enjoyed about that film, just the trailer, is the girl, you didn't make her out to be some religious phenom that was walking around spouting scripture. And I think that's where we've kind of made our mistake in the past on some of these Christian films that have been out there. But you took a different route with this.
Well, I've been fortunate to be on a good run with a lot of great movies. It really started with What If, that Dallas Jenkins directed. He's now doing the Chosen miniseries. I highly recommend it. I mean, I've done over 60 movies in my life, and I would put What If in my top 3. It's the same writers who did God's Not Dead. We all know how big God's Not Dead blew up. But, I've been a part of Soul Surfer, Let There Be Light. I've got not only this one, I've got One Nation Under God that opens up in theaters in July, and another one I directed called Miracle in East Texas, true story set in 1930. I directed that along with Lou Gossett Jr. and John Ratzenberger. And I've been very fortunate to have more and more of these amazing movies. And I think the last 10 years, they've been good. But you're not wrong with what you said earlier about a lot of faith-based movies look pretty cheesy. Production value didn't look great, but that's a whole different world out there right now because these things look just as good as anything out there. And people want to work. And I'll tell you something, people are starving for this. You mentioned Hercules earlier. I travel a lot, going through airports. It used to be Hercules, Andromeda, my 2 series. 80% of the time now, people say, please make more movies, Soul Surfer and Let There Be Light. We need more like that. But I'm telling you, we need to support these movies because politics runs downstream from culture. Who runs the culture? Hollywood does. And you see the movies that they put out, guys. You see what they're doing out there. And we need more movies that have love and faith and hope and redemption and laughter because They're just not out there right now, when we're the ones who are doing it. And if you don't support these movies, they'll be out of theaters. Because trust me, AMC doesn't care what they show. They want to fill seats and sell popcorn and sodas. You guys need to show up and be part of the movement to make all these movies become a hit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kevin. And I think what you touched on something that for many years, showing my age now, that we vilified the movie industry as not wanting to show anything that had a heart or anything much less that was Christian. We didn't make good movies, and we didn't give them anything to deal with. They're out to make money. And so that's what this is doing. All right, Lance, before I show this next clip, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question for you, Kevin. You mentioned something coming up called One Nation Under God. What's that all about?
It's a high school drama. I play a teacher at this high school that has has a debate class after school. And we get a number of students to come in there. And I kind of trick them into this because I'm the one who wants to put that back into our Pledge of Allegiance in our school. So we have a debate about the Pledge of Allegiance. And we have the side. Really, we pick a side of people that are against it and a side of students that are for it, because I want them to battle it out. Normally in a debate, you want to mix it up. But here, in this case, I wanted to have as many strong arguments as we could possibly get for putting that back in our Pledge of Allegiance. And I think it's high time we did that.
Yeah, excellent. So Lance, we have got to, you can say the first half of this program was, it was talking about the Israel and the disaster, what's going on in there. Yet we see the power of a documentary and the films that Clarion Project has done. It's changing what people think. And this is exactly what Kevin's doing with Sorbo Family Films. You're changing what people think, sneaking up on them in some films and being more blunt in others.
Well, I think we ought to just...
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think we ought to be like super spreaders in the spiritual sense about great movies like this. Because, the advertising does serve a purpose. When you got $100 million, it increases market awareness. But we have, we have our own tribe. And there's 40 million of us in the United States that share a similar faith. We really need to get the story about these movies out there and put some buzz on it. So, Kevin, I'm going to be working on that, and Gene also, so that we can get viewership and people talking about them.
Yeah, we're going to do our part there, Kevin.
I love that, guys. I got to throw in. I'm heading out to Guthrie, Oklahoma pretty soon. Same city we shot The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. I have 1 week left on the Ronald Reagan movie, titled Reagan. Dennis Quaid is playing Reagan. I'm playing his pastor. And then from there, I'm flying to Israel. I know a lot of stuff is going on there right now, but I'm doing a documentary on an archaeological dig where they found the oldest temple yet. And so we're doing a documentary on that archaeological dig. Wow. And then I come back home to the States and I start filming Left Behind. So I'm staying busy this summer.
You are a busy man.
I'm still doing stuff that people will want to come watch.
All right, SorboFamilyFilmStudios.com. Find out everything going on. Support it. Come on, Flashpoint Army, you know what you need to do. You got to support this. And that's what we're all about. All right, listen, but you got to watch Tuesday, May 18th, because the real deal's coming on. Sam Sorbo is going to be here, and we're going to find out what Kevin's really like as she comes and tells us what's happening. And you want to make sure you're a part of us right here next Tuesday. Before we go, Lance, well, you know what? I want to talk about one other film that was really ended up being I think you narrated it, Kevin, and that's Before the Wrath. Do we have a clip of that or a picture? Put the photo up there. There's Before the Wrath. Tell people a little bit about that film, Kevin.
It's incredible. I've been doing more and more of these documentaries later. Actually, my first one I did with Tim Mahoney, it was proof of Exodus. Exodus proof of evidence that I did for Tim Mahoney. It was like through archaeological digs, he spent 10 years to prove that the Exodus actually happened. And that opened the door for me to do more of these things. This is an incredible documentary looking at the book of Revelation. And it mixes current scholars, pastors, priests, rabbis, and everybody talking about their viewpoint on that, mixed with what was happening during Jesus's time. So it's a wonderful sort of movie/documentary that I hope people check out. It was the #1 documentary on Amazon for about 5 straight months. I believe it's still in the top 5. It's Before the Wrath. And I'm working on another one with those same guys, Brent Miller's company. And we just finished filming, and I'll be there. While the editing goes on, I'll be putting a narration together for me. And it's going to be on the Last Supper with the focus on the disciples.
Wow.
Which is going to be
looking
cool.
forward to that as well. Kevin, thanks for being on. We want you back. We want to hear what's going on. Let's stay in touch so we can help spread the word about entertainment and what's happening in our nation. You need to be a part.